for joining us on another episode of Get to Know, a special series we are doing with our Calvary students here at Calvary Baptist Church. And I am excited to have with me today Miss Haley Watson. Haley, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, hello, my name is Haley Watson. I'm 14. I'm in ninth grade, and I currently go to Genesis Christian Academy.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that introduction. Genesis Christian Academy, that's here. It's in Ashland. Tell me a little bit about Genesis. How many students attend Genesis?
Well, that's kind of a hard thing to say because there are full-time students, and then there are students who take a few classes. For full-time students, we have 27, I think. As for part-time, I have no idea.
All right. Well, good. And so how many of that 27-ish number, how many are in the same grade as you?
I think 8. The thing that's really annoying about this small school thing is, I probably should mention this first. I currently take classes above my grade. I didn't skip it, but most of the people in the 10th grade, they're all guys. The only girl in that grade dropped out, so I'm the only girl in a lot of classes.
All right. That makes sense. So don't be picking on smaller school settings, all right? I think I mentioned in a previous interview, I graduated from a smaller school. I was one of 3 in my graduating class, and I think at that time, our school had around 50 people in the whole school. So, yeah, I get it. Now, what are the grade ranges for Genesis? Like, what grade does it start and what grade does it end?
Well, we have most classes are 9th to 12th, so basic high school. But we do have some classes for 8th graders. We have pre-algebra, and then they can take other classes as well.
Okay, all right. I did an interview earlier with somebody who's in 8th grade and does pre-algebra at Genesis. Do you have any idea who that interview may have been with?
I guess my younger sister.
Oh, boom, you're right there. You've got it. And as she explained in her interview, just the whole dynamic of your family and ages and who's in the family. Where are you in the list of children in the family? So go ahead and start with the oldest and work your way down. Let's see where you fall.
Okay. There's the oldest, Elena, 22. And then there is Erin, the second oldest. She is 20.
Oh.
And there's Kelsey, who is 18. Then there's me, who is 14. And then there's Hannah, who is 13.
Okay. All right. So you're close to the youngest, but bottom line, you and 2 others are in the middle. What is it like, in your words, what's it like to be in the middle?
Oh, we're so joyous. Well, for Kelsey, I wouldn't say she doesn't act like a middle child. She is the loudest person in our family.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say me and Hannah are kind of acting like the middle child. We don't talk very much. Although, to be completely honest, it's kind of like we don't go by a middle, oldest, and youngest person system. We go by alphas and then the weaklings. So Hannah and Erin and my mother are the weaklings. And Kelsey, Elena, and my dad are the alphas. And I'm a bit of like a beta type. I do most of the heavy lifting in the family, but I don't really talk much.
Okay. All right. So you're a little bit of both worlds there. Good breakdown, knowing those in your family. Great breakdown and great analogy of everyone in your family. And those who know your family, I'm sure will attest to that. So talking through some family dynamics and schooling and some of those things, what are some of your extracurricular activities that you're involved in? Are you involved in any sports or anything extracurricular?
Well, I just started playing track, and then in August I'm gonna restart playing volleyball.
Okay. All right. Was this your first time doing track?
Yeah,
And it just ended like that, like before it ever
yeah,
started.
that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sure. What were you looking at participating in track this year?
Same as Kelsey, shot and discus.
Okay. All right. Does your sister help or do you help her as far as training for those?
She doesn't really, we don't really do ours together, but she does help me during practice. She did help me during practice sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. And that's, I guess, sorry, that's what I meant. If she helps you practice at all or encourages you at all in that. Um, that's interesting. So, and then volleyball. Now, how long have you been playing volleyball?
Well, I did it my seventh grade year, then I dropped out in eighth grade for academic reasons, and then I'm gonna rejoin this year, hopefully.
Okay. I've got to ask because you mentioned because of academic reasons. Um, did you just want to focus more on your academics? Because I find it very hard that you would be slipping in your academics.
Oh no, I wasn't slipping with my academics. I was gonna start high school in my eighth grade year, so I was kind of worried about that. Was it gonna be harder? And so I thought it was gonna be harder. It wasn't. I really wish I stayed.
That makes sense. I didn't anticipate that you were slipping in your grades. And for those who may not know, I have a little bit of insight, and this has been great for me in getting to know all of our teens as we do these interviews. Um, for those who don't know, we're talking your academics. What are your grade averages? Are we talking A's and B's, C's? What do we got?
3.96.
Yeah, so pretty much straight A's, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
and
kind of disappointed. I'm so close to getting a 4.0.
yeah, that's so worth being disappointed in. I can't believe you right now. Let's just end this interview because of my disappointment. I like, come on, for real. I was an A B guy with the occasional C. So listen, I'm okay. It settles well with me.
No, but like I have my sister to compete with, Kelsey, and she has a 4.0, and I need to like destroy her in every event.
Yeah, that's a sibling rivalry. That's what we call a sibling rivalry. Rivalry for sure. So you took a break to focus on academics, realizing, hey, it wasn't as hard as I thought. So now you're getting back into volleyball. Do you see picking up any other sports beyond track and volleyball?
Um, I don't think I'm really allowed to do more than two, but I don't know. I've kind of thought about not doing track, kind of straying from my sister a little bit. I don't know. Maybe even trying out basketball, see how that works.
Okay, all right. What about any other additional talents outside of hobbies? Do you have any talents? Are there any musical things or maybe art or anything you like to do beyond sports?
Well, I like singing, but I'm not very good at it. But I also like, oh, I love history. Love history.
Love history, which equates to you being an avid reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, always into a book. Now, what's your favorite category of book? Oh, let's start this way: fiction or nonfiction?
Oh, hmm, nonfiction. Wait, no, fiction. No, nonfiction. Fiction. Yeah,
Fiction.
fiction.
All right, I'll rephrase this question to help you a little bit then, because you're having a hard time deciding. Within fiction, what's your favorite category of reading?
Mystery.
Mystery. All right. Are you able to figure out the mystery before you get to the end of the book?
Usually.
Okay. All right. Now, for nonfiction, do you have a favorite that you like biography, or is there something specific you like in nonfiction?
History.
History. All right. That makes sense. There it is. Good. Well, this is just some insight, getting to know you just a little bit better. Let me ask some of these questions. How long have you been coming to Calvary Baptist Church?
14 years.
14 years. So your entire life. And so going through the ministries of Calvary Baptist Church from the time you were in nursery all the way till now being in youth group, do you have a favorite time that you can look back and say, when I was this age or when I was involved in that ministry at Calvary Baptist Church, that was my favorite.
Uh, well, I'm kind of in between. I really, really liked being in the 5th and 6th grade class. That's an all-time favorite. But I also love being in the teen group too, and
Okay.
being able to participate in choir and youth in the children ministries.
Awesome. So you are involved in working in some of the ministries based on what you just said. So you're in the choir, you help out in some of the kids' classes, correct?
Yep.
Do you have a kids' class that is your favorite one to work in?
Um, 2s and 3s or junior church.
Oh, all right. I'm glad you gave that answer because every time I've asked that question to any other interviewer, they have stayed away from 2s and 3s. Why do you like the 2s and 3s?
Well, it's so much fun. Well, first of all, I can still be in choir because most of the time while I'm in choir, they're just playing around, so I don't really have to be there. But then after we get snacks, we get to watch a cute video, then we sing some songs, and it's super fun. I get
Okay.
to eat the snacks sometimes. They're really good snacks.
Good. Good. See, this is interesting because so many people, like I said, have said, no, not 2s and 3s. And they've given all sorts of reasons. It's too hard to connect with them. I can't understand them. They're not always potty trained, whatever the reason may be. But it's interesting to hear why someone would like working with 2s and 3s. And I appreciate that. So you're involved in different things. Overall, I asked what your favorite ministry was as far as going through the church. But do you have a favorite, just as a whole, what's your favorite thing about our church?
Well, I really like the music ministry. Oh, one thing. You said one thing. The genuineness of people. You can really see how much they love each other and how close they are.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of community, and with the community, also unity. It's kind of the same, but just that everybody is there for each other and knows each other. Good. Well, that helps me a lot. Now, you have been here in this church. You've gotten to know many people in the church. You referenced your sister as far as Kelsey and just competing with her and some other things, but even having some connections within the church. Looking to the future, what do you think? Do you have any idea of a future career?
I have really no idea. I've thought of so many different things, but I don't know. I've kind of been thinking about, I don't know, somewhere along the lines of maybe a history teacher or going into the mission field, or I don't know. There's really a lot of things I'd really like to do.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting. Mission field possibility. Have you felt at any point, whether great, I should say great or small, the Lord leading in your life in the area of missions?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. And so let's focus just for a moment. If the Lord's leading in your heart towards the area of missions, I would then trust the baseline for that. I would trust that you know the Lord is your Savior, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. I assume that was the case. So why don't you, if you would be so kind, share with those who are watching your testimony of how it was or when it was that you got saved?
Okay, well, I was about 5. It was on a Wednesday night in Sparky's. So man, Sparky's was the best. But well, it was an invitation type thing where if you raised your hand, someone would take you out, and so I did. And Mrs. Lavengood took me out, and we prayed together, and that's how I got saved.
Okay, great. So at 5 years old in Sparky's in Awana, Awana plays a big part in our ministries here at Calvary Baptist Church. So having been saved at 5 and just being able to get that settled, which is great at an early age, did you ever have any struggles with doubts at all?
Oh, definitely. It's sometimes when I don't feel like I'm connecting with God on like a spiritual level as much as other people seem to be. That's always kind of been a hard time that's always been hard for me.
Yeah, to have the ebbs and flows of life. Some people may, looking on the outside, looking at somebody else, they may seem more spiritual than you, and you think, man, I wish I could be as spiritual as that person. So I get that completely. And interesting. Now, of your years in church, do you have a favorite pastor or a favorite speaker that you have heard?
Kenny Baldwin, definitely.
Kenny
I love
Ball.
him.
Yes, lots have mentioned him and just his zeal as he speaks, especially to young people. That's good. Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Ooh, oh. Um, oh, trample death, where is thy sting? Oh, grave, where's thy victory? That's probably one of my favorites because I don't know, death has always been a big fear of mine for whatever reason. Getting murdered, getting killed somehow. And it's always just been like, well, God defeated that a long time ago. He's greater than that. He's bigger than that.
Hmm, that's good. That is a good verse and a good application of that verse. I liked how you did that. Very good. All right. Well, how about some favorites? Do you have a favorite? You mentioned being in the choir. Do you have a favorite song overall right now?
Oh, um, well, I'd say Waterfall by Charity
Charity
Gale.
Gale. Yes.
Yes, I love that song.
That's one of my favorites, as you well know. So good. Waterfall. How about, well, let's just go into this one. Do you have a favorite youth activity that we've done here at the church?
Um, at the church, well, I love the Bug-Out Harvest Rally, and that's definitely this year. This year has been one of my favorites. But oh, the Winter Easter, it's also great.
Yeah, that's a big one that people mention. Do you have a favorite color?
Uh, Deep dark blue, like very dark,
Almost like darker than navy or
darker than navy.
okay. All right. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke,
Okay.
although I don't really prefer either, but
Got
we're
it.
a Coke family.
What is your go-to ice cream flavor?
Ooh, Moose Tracks.
Oh, what all? I can't, honestly, I can't remember. What all is in Moose Tracks?
Well, it's like a bunch of like chocolate, some little racy cups. I think that's it. A lot of that.
All right. That's a good one. Um, oh, do you have a favorite snack?
Um, hmm. Probably Lay's chips, like plain. Wait, no. Ruffles. Ruffles. I don't know any Ruffles. I love Ruffles.
Any Ruffles? All right, that's good to know and keep in mind. Now, I know that within your family, at some point or another, all of your sisters, somewhat at an early age, started a form of income. Have you done the same?
Of what?
Income, like
Oh,
crocheting and other things that have taken place in your family. Have you found something that you are doing to bring in some income?
not currently that I can think of. I feel I'm trying to work towards some things, but nothing current.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right. Just thought I'd ask. Well, that's going to bring us to the close of our interview. I appreciate you taking the time to watch and getting to know Haley a little bit better through this interview. But as I do with everyone at the end of an interview, Haley, do you have any closing words that you would like to share with those who are watching?
I do. Always, always be kind. Always act like someone's watching because more times than not they are. And just in general, make sure you're being a role model, doing good things for other people.
Good. I like that. Be kind. Know that others are watching. If I can sum that up, just saying exactly, live your life with character. Have character. Very good. I appreciate you sharing that. And again, thank you all for watching this interview with Haley. Again, I hope you got to know her a little bit better, but don't let it stop here just by watching this video. As opportunity arises, get to know her, carry conversation. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Get to Know.